Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Today is Thursday, July the 11th. My name is Judge Esparza. We have some writ hearings scheduled for this afternoon. We do not have a court reporter. If you're requesting one, your case will be reset for a later date. We have all the defendants present in the courtroom. I don't know if I have all the attorneys, but I'm just going to go down the docket and call your name as we get to it. The first case I'm going to call is C3045-24-J, State of Texas versus Urian Corpus. Is that pronounced correctly?
Yes, sir.
Speak English, Mr. Corpus?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Angel Davila, there you are. Your client is present. He is English speaking. You may proceed.
I apologize. I was trying to unmute.
Okay.
Yes, sir. My client is in on a POCS 1 to 4 grams, Your Honor. He has a $20,000 bond. Your Honor, I don't know about anything outside of this county, but I know here in this county, he hasn't had anything since 2007. It was also a drug-related case. And I would respectfully ask for a PR bond, Your Honor, on this case.
This is the state.
Your Honor, Charles Law for the state. We have no objection to a PR bond.
Mr. Corpus, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
State your name.
Young Corporal.
Where do you live, sir?
I live in Edinburgh, Texas,
What's your address?
3017 East Peter,
3017?
317 East Peter
Okay.
Street in Edinburgh.
Is that a house?
Yes, sir, it is.
You own or rent there?
No, sir, I live with my parents.
So you're gonna get out a PR bond, which is a promise to appear at a later date at the courthouse with your attorney to take care of this case. Anytime that you're out, I'm gonna order monthly UAs through probation, which means you're gonna have to show up when they tell you to show up to get drug tested. You get drug tested, you come back positive, you're gonna come back to jail. You understand that?
Sir, yes, sir.
No drugs, no alcohol. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
You have a job?
I work for myself. I'm a mechanic.
All right. Stay out of trouble. So your bond will be reduced to $2,500. Stay in contact with your attorney. Do you have a phone number, sir?
Yes, sir, 956-378-426.
Your phone number changes or your address changes, make sure you notify your attorney.
Yes, sir. You need a phone number also?
That's fine. You give it to your attorney when you get out. Make sure you contact him when you're released. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and have a seat. Thank you, Mr. Davila. Is that all you have?
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case I'm gonna call is C3092-24-J, State of Texas versus Maria Espinosa. No hablas inglés, ¿verdad? Póngase de pie enfrente. Carlos, just go slowly. Mr. Alanis from our office will do the translation.
Yes, sir. She is a Spanish speaker. Okay, Ms. Espinosa has been charged with possession of controlled substance.
Carlos, real quickly, she does have an ice hold. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Well, I figured, I mean, it's meth, she's an illegal. She's a 24-year-old Mexican citizen, if he can translate that. The bond is at 1,500.
1,000.
Yeah, no, 1,500, yeah. But the bondsman wants to charge her 3,500. She didn't have the money.
All right.
So I know it's tough to do this when somebody's illegal, but even though she's illegal, she may obtain a PR bond when she goes to immigration court. So we're asking for a PR bond. Mr. Bale, that's the first time I ever heard him say no objection to a PR bond. I hope he says the same thing for mine.
We'll see what kind of day everybody's having. Mr. Bill, what do you have to say?
Your Honor, state objects to, well, we do not support a reduction in the bond based on the ICE hold.
Okay. I didn't see any prior arrest on her. Did you show any history?
I was not provided that, Your Honor, so I don't have that immediately available.
All right, that's fine. Raise your right hand, man. Derecha. La derecha. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sí,
What's your name?
María del Carmen Espinosa Padrón,
What city do you live in?
en Peñitas,
Who do you live with?
de mi esposo y 5 hijos chiquitos.
Husband and 3 kids.
Five.
Speak English a little bit, maybe? Okay. How long have you been living in Penitas?
Ya llevo desde los 5 años, pero he estado aquí de chiquita estudiando.
5 years.
You have a job? Where do you work? You need to answer, don't shake your head.
En las carretas. Trabajaba en las carretas y luego de ahí en México de cajero, en la tienda.
A cashier, a store.
And her husband is a U.S. citizen, Judge.
Bond will be reduced to $2,000 cash surety.
Judge, it's at 1,500 cash surety.
I saw 15,000. Is it a
Oh,
15? It said
shoot.
15? What's the, do you see?
50,000.
Yeah, it said at 15,000,
Oh,
Carlos.
okay, well, she had told me 15. Okay, very good. And you're reducing it to how much, Judge?
$2,000 cash surety.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
That's all I have.
Do you have a phone number, man? Número de teléfono, what is it?
Es de mi esposo.
Okay.
956-713-5355.
Repeat it again. 956-713-5355.
53-55. Sí.
Okay. All right. When you get out, if you get out, stay in contact with your attorney, you understand? You will have to show up at the courthouse at a later date to take care of these cases. Is that clear?
También tengo una línea deshabilitada aquí.
Okay. All right. Toma asiento.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you,
May I
Carlos.
excuse? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Next case I'm gonna call is C 2830-24-E, State of Texas versus Frederick Lambert. Is he there in your office, Mr. Munoz?
Judge Sergio Maciel, on behalf of Mr. Lambert, Your Honor, he is here at the office with me, Judge. Let me just go ahead and turn the
Okay. This is a case where we did reduce his bond a couple of weeks ago. You were asking the court to at that time I imposed as a condition of the bond, a portable device. And you're asking the court to reconsider that based on a report from DPS, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. So Mr. Lambert already had a case pending. This new additional charge was picked up. The court did reduce the bond. It was initially set at 100,000, and it was reduced to 15,000 cash surety with AIP and the device. Subsequent to that hearing, Your Honor, we did get information from the DPS that they rescinded his notice of suspension, and we did attach that as an exhibit to our motion. And within that notice, it states that it was rescinded due to him passing the breath and or blood results. So reason for that is why we filed the motion to modify. I was not aware who was going to be handling the hearing this afternoon, Your Honor, from the DA's office, so I have not been able to confer with them. But that is our position regarding the modification or the request.
The original order was set by the magistrate there, McAllen, imposing the alcohol monitoring device. All I added was the windows. But what's the state's position on this?
Your Honor, I haven't received any guidance from Annalise Vargas on this, so I'll leave it up to the court.
And my concern is that I know that he passed that test. He's out on a DWI third. And when I read the order from the magistrate in McAllen, it says, it actually says no alcohol, no bars, no marijuana, or any other illegal drugs.
Judge, and I guess just by way of information, if the court would allow me, I'll confer with Ms. Vargas, or if she can let me know what her position is on it. We just wanted to bring it to light regarding the information from DPS themselves as to the actual arrest. And I know in full disclosure, my client has cirrhosis of the liver. He does other medical issues. So when he does have interaction with law enforcement or anybody else, they assume he has slurred speech, but that's the way he talks because of his medical condition. So the incident that occurred the day when he got arrested on this case is there was an altercation between him and another gentleman, and while he was getting off the car, that's where it tapped the car in front of him, and that's when the wife of the person that he was in the altercation with called the police, and that's how they came. So all the interactions and everything regarding his speech and so forth, if you were to talk to him, you would assume he would be under the influence of something. However, because of his medical condition, he has a delayed speech and other impediments. But I would just ask that if the DA could confer with Ms. Vargas, and we can come back to the court can hear us maybe, in a day or two, so we can get their position. But that was a reason why we had filed this modification.
Okay, yeah, I remember reading the report. I remember him in the courtroom that last time. If we do remove it, what I may end up doing is maybe have him go in weekly for drug or alcohol testing with probation. As long as he shows up once a week to get tested, and if there's no issue, that could be an option. But I'll go ahead and reset it for next week sometime. I'll have my office contact your office, Mr. Munoz, and see what day you're available next week, or maybe, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday of next week.
Judge, whenever the court sets it, and then hopefully by then we can get some direction or some response from Ms. Vargas or where else the DA's office, and but at least by way of information, they have some of the background as to what our request is based off of.
Okay, let's set it for next Thursday, July the 18th at 2 p.m.
Okay, just that's all I have, Your Honor. Maybe excuse my client.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case we're going to call is C 3068-24-I, State of Texas versus Maria Mata. You speak English, right, Maria? Yes. Okay. Jaime Aleman, this is your motion. Your client is present. She does speak English. You may proceed.
Good afternoon. Jaime Aleman on behalf of Ms. Mata. She is currently before this honorable court. We are seeking a bond reduction where she has a current $5,000 cash surety bond for allegation of continuous family violence. On this particular case, Judge, a couple different matters. We do have some concerns about the way the charge is alleged. We think it should be more of a simple assault because we understand she had prior arrests, but she does not have a prior conviction. So we're not sure it would be a felony level charge if actually filed. At this particular point, the $5,000 is beyond her means. She is a U.S. citizen. She is a 17-year-old, Judge. I'm not sure. We did have the opportunity to review the probable cause. The alleged victim is her mother. In this particular situation, Judge, unfortunately, this whole conflict, if you will, arose from a situation in which my client was making an outcry of abuse, a sibling within the family, Judge, and just for purposes of clarity of the record, I did make a CPS report. An investigation has commenced. I haven't talked to Ms. Mata since I had my initial phone conversation, but I was informed that a CPS official was going to go interview her with regard to her outcry. I believe that was done, but there has been an official CPS report started, Judge. At this particular point, unfortunately, because of the situation with the sibling outcry, I believe the mother basically took the brother's side, if you would, and that, obviously enraged my client, and that was what led to this escalation. When the police came, essentially, the mother was saying, well, she assaulted me, and that's why we're here today. At this particular point, Judge, she has been in custody since June 23rd. She really doesn't have a whole lot of, unfortunately, support at home. The only thing I can ask for today, Judge, is as a PR bond. I know there are limitations when it comes to assault charges, but that's all I can ask for because she really doesn't have much support as a 17-year-old with this family dynamics that are going on right now, Judge.
I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware, but the magistrate who arraigned her issued a protective order. And so my concern is if she is released, does she have somewhere to go? Do you know?
Well, she'd informed me that there might be a friend or a boyfriend, if you will, that she might be able to rely upon to help take her in, Judge. So we would be in agreement for her, to be honest with you, not going back to that house, especially since the alleged perpetrator, he is still in that house.
Okay. All right. What says the state?
Your Honor, which case are we on? I'm sorry.
Maria Mata C
Yes.
3068-24-I.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. The state does not support a reduction. Ms. Mata, she recently got out of jail on as I understand it, the same assaultive offenses, picked up these cases. But if the court is considering something where she'd be released, we'd recommend a drug patch and no contact with the victim.
Just for benefit of the court, Judge, I also wanted to follow through the full disclosure. She is currently on probation. An MTR has been filed on a misdemeanor case for resisting arrest. And we are reaching out to that court to file a motion to set bond on an MTR at this point, Judge. So there's two things currently holding her right now, Judge.
Okay. Raise your right hand, man. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? State your name.
Maria Magdalena Mata,
Maria.
17 years old.
Are you in high school?
In
What high school?
Wesley Police High School.
Okay, you're a senior? Gonna be senior?
Yes, sir.
When was she put on high probation? I mean, do you know?
Let me double check,
When we-
Judge. I apologize.
When were you put on probation?
May 17.
Of this year?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, did you report in June?
I had went, but I was actually on June. I was at a facility for attempted suicide.
Okay. You live in what city?
In college.
With your parents?
Yes,
If you are let out, do you have somewhere to go?
sir.
Where would you be living?
In Ghana,
Who would you be living with?
my boyfriend.
There's a protective order that was issued by the magistrate, which that means is you cannot go back to, who's Azelia Aguilera? Is that your mom? Okay, you cannot have any contact with your mom for 61 days or anybody from the family for 61 days. You cannot go near the address at 24620 Beach in Edcouch. Is that where your mom lives? Is that where you were living?
Yes,
Yeah, you cannot go over there. You can't even drive by there. If you do, and they report you, you will be arrested and you will end up back in jail. Do you understand that? You'll get a copy of this order when you're released, if you're released. So you notice now, the magistrate told you, and you'll have a copy. So don't make the mistake and go over there. Is that clear?
yes, sir.
Contact them from jail because that's a violation by calling them. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Need anything from them or have any questions? Speak to your attorney. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Also order that there be no contact with the victim. That's what that order is, that you have no contact with them, okay?
Yes, sir.
Bond will be reduced to $500 cash surety. If you get out, you stay in contact with your attorney. I just set a bond on this case. You have a motion to revoke on that other case. Your attorney's gonna try and get you a bond on there, so you may be in jail for a couple more days. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Alemán?
That's all I got, Judge. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, have a good afternoon.
You too. Thank you.
Next case we're gonna call is C 3087-24-J, State of Texas versus Joel Ortiz. Speak English, Mr. Ortiz? Okay, right there's fine. You can just, right there's good. You can stay there. Nereida Morales Martinez, this is your motion.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge. Judge, my client is detained, has been detained since June the 27th on a charge of theft of less than $2,500 with 2 previous convictions, Judge, making it a felony. He has, of course, a record of misdemeanor thefts, Judge. In this case, my client, he does have a home, but he tends to drive around. He has some conflicts. He has mental issues and has some conflicts with his family. So he kind of drives around on his bike, honestly looking for things that, that he can get to maybe resell so that he can eat. In this case, he was apparently with a co-defendant. The co-defendant invited him to go to some house. He went with him. He was hungry. My client was hungry. And he seems to believe that this case arises out of him taking a mailbox and shaking it to see if there was something in there that maybe he could take. I don't think that it was anything that was inside the mailbox, but it was just the actual mailbox that he removed. And then he was arrested. As he told me, he was desperate to eat, and he was trying to get money so that he could eat. And so he didn't take the mailbox, he left it there. But the PD knows him, knows who he is, knows the troubles that he's had. They contacted him, and he admitted that he had been there. And he is now arrested. He is a U.S. citizen, Your Honor. He has lived for approximately 50 years in the same location, same address. He transports himself on a bicycle to get to places that he needs to get to. He has no money, Judge, because other than that bicycle, he lives on the streets trying to get enough money to eat. He does have some mental issues that he goes to Tropical for to get meds. He tells me that he promises that he will do so. He will take his meds. But at this point, Judge, I'm respectfully having to ask for a PR bond. He has no money otherwise, Judge.
What says the state?
One moment, Your Honor. Well, due to his criminal history, Your Honor, we do not, there is a, we would not object to less than a $10,000 cash surety bond. But it's based on his criminal history. I understand what counsel is saying.
He does have tests, Judge. That's all really he has.
Yeah, and the allegations on these two, there are actually 2 counts of theft. Was that correct? One allegation was he went into looks like a liquor store and walked out with a bottle from Feldman's. And the other one was he took a box, not a mailbox, but I guess a box that was left on somebody's doorstep. It had about $4,000 worth of medical supplies in it. Those are the allegations.
Okay. Judge, the paperwork that I got, but the appointment that I got only had one issue, and he honestly, in speaking to my client, I've represented him in other cases, Judge. And so in speaking to him, I just had to rely, he wasn't too sure, so he kind of picked that one to tell me about.
Well, you put 2 counts of theft on your motion, so,
Did
yeah.
I? Bond. Oh, yes, it does say,
First page.
Judge. I apologize. That was just a
No
mistake
problem.
on my behalf.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what he's showing. Is it showing 2 or is it showing 1? 2 thefts, right? $15,000 each.
Previous conviction.
Yeah, he's got 2 counts of theft, previous
Oh.
convictions, each set at 15,000.
I did know he had, that's correct, Judge, and I apologize. Yes, 2 counts, 15 each.
No problem. Mr. Ortiz, raise your right hand, sir. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? How old are you, Mr. Ortiz?
I'm 60 years old.
Oh, 60? 60.
Yes, sir. I just turned 60 in January.
What city do you live in, sir?
Westlaco, Texas. I have no income. I can't walk.
You have a house where you stay?
Yes, sir. We have land in the house.
Okay.
I've been living there since 1967 in Beulah Pass.
Hang on, hang on. Let me ask the questions, okay? If you get out on bond, you're gonna have to show up at a later date to the courthouse to take care of these cases. Do you understand that?
I promise.
Do you have a phone number, sir, or family members?
My sister
What is your sister's name?
is Linda Jenkins.
Jenkins?
Yeah, Jenkins.
Do you have a phone number for her?
It's 956-668-8500.
668-8500?
Yes, sir.
Where does she live?
In McAllen on 12.
That's fine. Just what city is what I was concerned about. On count 1, bond will be reduced to $1,000 PR. On count 2, bond will be reduced to $1,500 cash surety. Stay with, don't go back to those homes, sir. Don't go back to that. Listen to me, okay? Don't go back to that liquor store, Feldman's Liquors. Don't go back over there. You understand me? It was located in Westlaco. Do not go back to that location. They see you there, they're probably gonna call the police on you again. Do you understand? Okay. Do not go back to, listen to me, okay? Now go back to that address where you allegedly took that box off the porch. Not saying you did it, but that's what they're alleging. Do not go back there. Do you understand me?
No, sir.
Anything else, Ms. Morales Ortiz?
No, Judge. Let me just for my notes, you said count 1 was a PR bond, but count 2 is a cash or surety bond?
Yeah, 1,500.
Okay. I foresee I'll be filing another writ at a later time, Judge. He has absolutely no income.
No, they took my disability away, so that's what I was gonna say. I was on disability because of my mind, my head. When mom passed away, I had to go to the doctor.
You represent him in other cases?
I don't receive
Yes, Judge. I've represented
have
other theft cases.
Does he have an MPR or anything pending right now?
No, Judge.
So these are the only 2 things holding him, right?
Yes, just this is all that's holding him.
And he showed up to court when he's supposed to?
Yes, Judge. I've never had any problems.
All right. I'll go ahead and make the second count. Count 2, also $2,000 PR.
Okay.
So you better make sure you show up to court, you understand?
I promise, Your Honor.
All right, have a seat.
Thank you, Judge. I have nothing further. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Woodward, please.
Thank you, Judge.
His attorney's not here anyway, he can go and take it. Yeah, just bring it back. His attorney's not here. I'm gonna call is C 3091-24-8, State of Texas versus Jorge Saldaña. Okay. Mr. Ballesteros, your client is present, he's Spanish speaking. All I ask is that you go slowly so that they can interpret. I'm not sure if you're aware, he does have an ICE hold on his case.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alejandro Ballesteros on behalf of Mr. Saldaña. I did become aware that he now has an ICE hold. Nonetheless, Judge, we would still request that his bond be lowered to an amount that is sufficient based on the fact that he has no criminal history. He was working in construction at the time, even though he doesn't have legal status. There is the allegation in the probable cause statement that at the time that he went into the home, that his current wife, who he's been separated from throughout the past year on and off, resided there with two other individuals. All three are named as victims. And there's a potential dispute as to whether or not he should have been there or not. He, based on the statement that was given, indicates that he did live there. He still had personal items there. When they were separated on and off during the last year, he lived across the street. Unfortunately, at the time of this allegation, he was had been drinking throughout the day. Understands that he can not come near any of the victims if granted a lower bond, and could potentially post it, and assuming immigration also gives them a bond. But there is a dispute as to whether or not he should have been at the home. There's an allegation of a knife being used to take some phones. But it's my understanding the phones were located inside the home and no phones were actually found on his person. So based on those arguments, Your Honor, we'd like for the court to consider a more reasonable bond, even though it's at $150,000 and there are three victims. A reduction to $25,000 or $30,000 would seem more appropriate based on the lack of criminal history and these statements that were proffered to the court.
All right, what says the state?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, due to the ICE hold, we do not support a reduction in the current bond amount.
Mr. Saldaña, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth shall help you God? State your name. What's your name? Louder. How old are you, Mr. Saldaña? 47. City do you live in? How long have you lived in Mission, Texas? 6 years. You have children? You have a job? Where do you work?
Like building like kitchens and bathrooms.
Construction? I didn't see a protective order or anything as such. But I am gonna ask that if you make bond, sir, that you have no contact with the victim or victims in this case. Do you understand that? You understand that? You need to answer. You can't shake your head. You need to answer. No phone calls, no text messages. You understand that? Also understand There's an ICE hold or an immigration hold on your case, or on you. Do you understand that? So that if you do make bond, you'll be released to immigration. And there's a good chance you may be deported. You understand that? But this case does not go away. The case will stay pending. You understand that? You understand?
Yes.
Bond will be reduced to $20,000 cash surety. Just one count, right? Is that right, Mr. Vice Chair?
not-
Just one count?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. The probable cost statement indicates 2 victims and then the wife also wanting to press charges. So it might be a 2-count indictment, maybe a 3-count.
Well, right now, it's just a burglary and a half, I think. I didn't see any assaults or anything. I just saw.
Oh, no,
burglary and a
yeah.
half.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. I thought you meant based on the victims, different victims. No, but it is 1
Okay.
count.
All right. Bond will be reduced to $20,000 cash surety, no contact with victims.
Thank you, Your
Anything
Honor.
else?
I have nothing further. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case we're gonna call is C 3129-24-E State of Texas versus Kaylin Science. You speak English?
Yes, sir.
Okay, come on up. Vito Chavano.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor.
Vice President. Good afternoon. You may proceed.
Your Honor, I believe I have an agreement with the state for right now. Miss Science currently has a $10,000 cash surety bond on the possession of controlled substance penalty group 2, 4 grams to 400, and a $1,000 cash surety bond on the possession penalty group 3, less than 28 grams. I do have an agreement with the state, Your Honor, to have PR bonds on both.
What says the state?
That's correct, Your Honor. We agree on a PR bond.
That's not me, sir. That's-
You're not Kaylin?
No, this is Kaylee Science. That's what I was thinking.
Is that your client, Mr. Chavano?
I can't see her on screen right now, Your Honor. I don't see her. No, that's not my client.
Okay, they brought the wrong one?
Open.
Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead and have a seat, or they're gonna take you back. Well, they brought the wrong individual, I think. Okay.
Okay.
What's your client's name, Mr. Turner?
It's Kaylin Garelli Steins.
Okay. They're gonna go ahead and bring it, but you guys have an agreement to a PR bond on both counts. So bond will be reduced on count 1, which is the possession, to $2,500 PR. And bond on the resisting, I'm sorry, no. The other possession charge will be reduced to $1,000 PR.
Thank you, Your
Also
Honor.
gonna order monthly UAs.
Yes, Your Honor.
Vito, you have contact information for her?
I do, Your Honor. I'm in contact with her mother. I'm in contact with her mom, and I also have her her mailing address. Her cell phone, Your Honor, if she does show up, I don't know if you can mention to her, she thought her cell phone had been lost, but her cell phone was found in her belongings. Her mom has that.
Okay, all right. You have anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. Mr. Bill, we got 2 more cases. We reached out to the attorneys. We did not get a response. They are present in the courtroom. The first one is C 3085-24-J, State of Texas versus Jose Mata. You speak English, Mr. Mata?
Yes, sir.
Come on up here to the middle of the room there. His attorney is Regina Richardson. I don't see her on the screen. It's 2:45. We reached out, didn't have any contact. You have a recommendation on this case?
Yes, Your Honor. The state recommendation would be to reduce to a 20,000 cash or surety bond.
On the screen. Mr. Villarreal, raise your right hand, sir. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State your name. Oh, we're looking at the wrong one. Okay. Are you currently on probation or parole?
I'm on probation, sir.
Have you been reporting?
Yes, sir, every once a month.
Okay. Where do you live, sir?
3206 East Elizabeth, and I got my other sister. I'm staying with my two sisters.
East Elizabeth, what city is that in?
And then we're taking.
You work?
No, sir, health condition,
What's wrong with you?
my heart and my hernia. I was waiting for my insurance to, that way I can go to do the procedure on my heart,
How old are you?
53 years old.
Understand that even if you make bond, there's a possibility that the motion to revoke may be filed on this case and you will be rearrested, right?
Yes, sir.
Got a heart condition, you shouldn't be abusing drugs, sir.
Well, I found that,
I don't want to hear an explanation, I'm just giving you some advice. In order that you continue reporting to probation, if you have been, if you're not, you're gonna end up back in jail. You continue reporting to probation, heard by the judge on that other case, will order monthly drug testing. So they're gonna call you in to go get drug testing. You show up when they tell you, not when te da las ganas. You show up when they tell you. You understand that? Come back positive, you're gonna end up back in jail. Is that clear? Bond will be reduced to $3,000 cash surety. Good luck to you, sir. Have a seat.
thank you.
Alejandro Villarreal, C 3146-24-H. You speak English, Mr. Villarreal? Your attorney is not present, Ruben Luna. We reached out to him. There's no response. You have a recommendation on this case, Mr. Bill?
Yes, Your Honor. We recommend reducing to $10,000 cash surety and add no contact with the victim or location as well.
$10,000 cash surety?
Yes, Your Honor, 10,000.
Okay. If you have, raise your right hand, please. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yeah, speak louder, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your name? How old are you? 25? Are you currently on probation or parole?
No, sir.
You have any, what city do you live in?
I don't know.
In a house or apartment or what?
House,
What's your address?
41, West Acacia Avenue, apartment 4. Apartment 4, yeah, apartment 3.
Apartment what?
Apartment 4. But I don't know, I'm gonna be staying there, I'll probably be staying in Mercedes, though.
And if you change your address, you need to notify your attorney. If you make bond, you change address or phone numbers, you need to notify your attorney because the court's gonna send a letter to whatever address you gave them when you were arrested. If people show up to court, they're gonna issue a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand that? You understand that? Gonna order monthly UAs. I think I told the other gentleman, show up to probation when they tell you to show up to get drug tested. Is that clear? No drugs, no alcohol. All right? Bond will be reduced to $5,000 cash surety. Good luck to you, sir. Have a seat. This is,
There's two females with the Katie, and yeah, they're both in booking.
what is your name, ma'am? Kareli Science? Stand up, please. The Science, we called your case a minute ago. Your attorney was here. They agreed to give you a PR bond, okay? Which means you just got to sign and they'll release you, okay? You're gonna have to show up to court at a later date to take care of these two cases. Do you understand that?
Would the letter be sent to my house?
It'll be sent to the mail. What, do you know your address? What is it?
813 Via Vista Avenue, Fire Station.
813 Via Vista?
Yes.
In FAR?
Yes, sir.
Is that a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Okay. You live with your parents? All right. How old are you?
I just turned 18 in April.
You're in high school?
I graduated last month.
Going to college?
Yes.
Stick with it. Don't quit. You're gonna get out of a PR bond. I'm gonna order monthly UAs, which means probation's gonna call you to go in and get drug tested. You come back positive for drugs or alcohol, you're gonna come back and sit in jail. You understand me? No drugs, no alcohol. Use your time, go study. All right? And stay in contact with your attorney. Is that clear? All right. Good luck to you. Show me the excuse. Thank you.
Sorry about that, it just happened the same name.
Yeah, no problem. At least we got it. We caught it on time. Thank you, Mr. Bill.
Okay, thank you.